Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Aina Batisha, and in today's video, I'll be giving a presentation on my MBTI. ENFP! That's my personality. As an introduction to my MBTI, ENFP stands for extroverted, intuition, feeling, perceiving. To explain it in a much more specific sense, let's see how it coincides with my own personality. So first, E for extroverted. Being extroverted means I get energized by social interactions and people in general. Although I tend to show a great deal of introversion as well, I'm generally sociable. I'm usually the one who tries to start a conversation first and just enjoy being out there and having fun and being friendly with people. Personally, I think this makes me very approachable as a person and makes a lot of people comfortable around me. Secondly, N for intuition. I mostly focus on abstract ideas rather than concrete ones. I'm usually good at linking ideas and patterns. I will often draw I think maps to be able to get my ideas flowing. This method also proves to be useful during last minute studies because linking ideas actually makes me remember a lot more better. Thirdly, for feeling. Sometimes I tend to think of others' feelings before mine, and I believe that is both a strength and weakness. I'm a good listener and I try to be as understanding as much as possible. I think being an ENFP also makes me deeply appreciative of deep and emotional bonds with others. And while this is expected when I lead towards this trait, it's also greatly intertwines with my personal values. For example, I can be critical of others and myself when we do something wrong, which means that it also makes me kind of self-aware and self-critical. Lastly, P for perceiving or prospecting. I can say that I'm a pretty easygoing and relaxed person. I don't really prefer rigidness. That's not to say that I don't plan, I do. However, I just prefer spontaneity and flexibility rather than rigid plans. I believe this makes me more prone to multitasking and just being a bit disorganized sometimes. However, it comes in handy when there's pressure of last minute plans. Moving on, we have real life examples. So the picture on the left is me as a taekwondo referee. As you can see, I'm holding the point system in my hands during a tournament. This job, I could say, requires a lot of teamwork and multitasking skills under a lot of pressure. And when it comes to teamwork and multitasking skills, communication is important. Most of the time, I have to go back and forth and ask a lot of questions because I'm a newbie. The right picture is me playing in an orchestra. This one doesn't require that much communication, but it does require taking action and synchronizing as a group. This is just to show you that ENFPs are very action-oriented people and we're usually quite resilient in stressful situations. Next up, I'm going to make this part short and say that I've been drawing for most of my lifetime and my artistic capabilities have been supported by my family since I was little, as you can see on the picture on the left. So how does this relate to intuition? I'm really fast at generating ideas, especially when it comes to creative activities. I'm able to see the big picture of things and oftentimes try to execute them in my own artworks. And when I'm struggling, I relay ideas by looking up pictures and references to create something new and special. For this example, I'll give one incident that happened during semester 3. It was Sir Shami's micro-teaching assignment. I got so nervous and panicked that I accidentally talked about my friend and took her part. So after that happened, I just apologized to her. Basically, we just redid it for her sake. And for the last example, I am a scriptwriter for drama production, even for this semester. When I write the script, I usually write any possibilities of the story that I can make. And as things grow and develop, I connect them to make an interesting storyline. And finally, how does being an ENFP affect me as a student and as a future teacher? As a student, I work well in groups. I'm curious and enjoy seeking knowledge, and I'm also competitive. As someone who is more action-oriented, I prefer active learning rather than passive learning. However, a balance of both can just be as beneficial because I have high kinesthetic intelligence and my way of studying is writing notes. And as a teacher, I'm very patient and empathetic. Furthermore, my lessons will be a mix of traditional and active learning. In conclusion, being an ENFP makes me an excellent team player and multitasker. I lead with level-headedness, empathy, and I stay true to my moral compass. In short, understanding myself, my strengths, my weaknesses, help me find paths that are for me and helps me achieve my goal of being a good student and a good future teacher. That's all for me. Thank you for listening. Assalamualaikum.